What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is gonna be your review for Ready to Love season 6 finale reunion. Reunion part 2. Look, I'm gonna just go ahead and be honest with y'all. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. We had really bad storms here Friday night, and so the whole thing didn't take. But I'm just go ahead and be honest. I wasn't gonna go back and look at it twice. I looked at as much as I could. So we're gonna get to what I think is important for us to talk about. Okay. So here we go. First of all, we found out that Demetrius was the dime piece of the season. Okay. Everybody was wanting Demetrius. Demetrius was the man. 50 grand, which I had kind of already figured that part out. I'm still a little bit confused as who Demetrius was really even connected to. Tina said that he was her number one. Sabrina had him as her number one. I really don't know, but it seemed like everybody, for the exception of Joy, of course, at one point in time was giving Demetrius the look. Now, Demetrius' thing was, he was flattered by the whole situation, but it was what it was. Okay. Now, at one point in time, Demetrius and Precious got into it, right? I'm gonna just go ahead and knock Demetrius on a Precious situation. They got into it, and Precious said that she was upset because that she felt like Demetrius made her out to be this party girl, and she didn't like it. She felt like that was, unfair assessments for him to make, that she was just a party girl and she didn't like it. But this is what I'm going to say about that. Demetrius was one person, and he never said that you were this crazy party girl. What he said was, you would like to go out, and you were clear that you like to go out, and he's just past that in his life. He's not at that place anymore, and so he is not interested in that, and that he's not the person for you. If your idea of a good time is going to the bar, the lounge, happy hour, a club, that's just not where he is in his life right now. And I felt like he was just respectful in what he said, but for whatever reason that offended Precious. Now, to be fair, Precious was edited as this wild and crazy party girl. I will give you that. I even said that in my reviews, but it wasn't coming necessarily from just Demetrius. She said herself that she enjoys going out, and that's not a bad thing. It's nothing wrong with that. I used to be that person. I am no longer that person, right? So I would be the same way. If I met a guy and his idea of a good time was always being at a party, always being at a club, then that's not my thing anymore. It never really was my thing. I was good for going and hanging out at people's houses and card parties and stuff like that, but I was never the club person. But neither here nor there. It's not about me. I understood where I could understand the frustration from Precious that was the edit that she got, but I think it's disingenuous to blame Demetrius for that edit. And like Demetrius said, listen, I'm one person. You giving me a whole lot of power and a whole lot of credit if you feel like I was able to, make a decision about you going home or not. I'm one vote just like anybody else. He was like, you weren't for me, but it was a whole lot of women here that weren't for me. I don't understand why you going there. And Precious really went off. I mean, she is cussing. She calling that man out his name. Even Tommy was like, Precious, calm down. Calm down. And Demetrius was like, what is wrong with you? Are you high? Are you drunk? Because you've been on 10 all day. And of course, that pissed her off even more. Why would you ask me something like that? How dare you ask me something like that? That's just disrespectful. And she continued to cuss him out. And then she got up and walked off the stage. And then she left. Listen. I mean, I probably would have asked her that too, because she had been on 20 all day. She really, even if you go back to part 1 last week, she really was, doing a lot. And if that's, see, the thing you got to remember with these reunions, they are there all day. They said they were there for 12 hours filming this reunion. And if every time we saw Precious, she was on 20, imagine what we didn't see. You understand what I'm saying? If that's what we saw, imagine what we didn't see. And so I just felt like her attack on Demetrius, based on what we saw, because y'all know it's always that what we didn't see element, but based on what we saw, I just felt like that was left field. That was coming out of left field. I'm just not, I don't know. I don't understand where all that was coming from. I felt like that was a lot. You was doing a lot, Precious. So then we had Dakia, Clifton, Joy triangle. Now, Joy got a lot of flack. A lot of people felt like Joy was doing too much, that she was a little harsh, that she was kind of coming on real strong at the kid. I could see that. I could see where people are coming from, but I'm gonna say this: you got to pay attention to the fact that Joy made mention that Dakia made comments about taking her man, and because remember, Joy literally left like as soon as they were done filming. Joy had to go to Mexico. She has a job. She's in Mexico for 6 months out the year. She's a singer, and I think she sings at like one of those resorts or something during the season down in Mexico. And so she literally left like 2 days after they filmed the finale. And so I'm sure that those comments getting back to her didn't make her feel good. Now, I saw people talking about well, if he can take you, he wasn't yours. That's bullshit. That don't have nothing to do with, it doesn't matter whether he could actually take him or not. The problem is the fact that she fixed her lips to say she would do it. You understand what I'm saying? This ain't about Clifton. This ain't about whether Clifton would be faithful or not. This is about the fact that this woman fixed it in her lips. Fixed her lips to say, I'll take your man. And she didn't deny saying it. What she said was that comment was taken out of context. I'm just not sure how you can take that out of context. If somebody say, I will take your man, how do you take that out of context? Unless you singing the song Salt and Pepper, I'll take your man. I'm just not sure how the hell you take that out of context. So I feel like some of Joy's anger may have been coming from that point of view. Now, let me put a pin in that. On the flip side, the kid was saying that all she wanted from Clifton was the conversation. She said, listen, because we even saw some never before seen footage, and Clifton and Dakia did go on other dates that we didn't see, and they did spend more time together than what we saw. Now, Clifton was clear from day one who his number one was, just like Joy was clear and who her number one was. So Dakia knew she was very much his number two. But that's part of this game. That's part of the show, is that you have a number one and you have a number two and yada yada yada, boo da boo da boo. And Dakia was like, all I'm asking is, when you make your final decision, when you know that it's Joy and that's it, that's all she wrote, just have the respect to tell me. Just give me the courtesy. I don't want to say respect. Give me the courtesy of letting me know that you have made your final decision. Therefore, I'm no longer pursuing this. Clifton and Joy were both like, well, it was obvious we shouldn't have had to say nothing. No, you should have. I don't think that it was too much for her to ask that you sit down and have a conversation with her when you make your final decision. And I do feel like for them to be like, well, girl, you knew or you saw it. Everybody knew he was my number one. Everybody knew. Okay, yeah, but everybody also knew that you were playing the game. You know, I will say this. Joy and Clifton need to write a book on how to survive this game, because Joy and Clifton did, this is only my 4th season. 1, 2, yeah. So I don't know what happened in the first couple of seasons, but I will say this. Joy and Clifton did probably a perfect job of, they knew that they were each other's number one, but they were able to play the game enough to stay in the game to the end. Okay, so I give them credit for that. Whatever they did, they played the game, they dated other people, they stayed in the game enough that, yes, everybody knew that it was Clifton and Joy the whole time. There was really not a whole lot of wavering, but they both went through the process and dated other people. Then we had Paul and Tina. Listen, I still don't know why they mad at each other. Tina is mad at Paul. She said that the only reason why Paul is on the show is to get exposure because he's writing a book. Paul was like, I don't know what book I'm supposed to be writing. He said, I'm a music producer. I don't write no books. I ain't got nothing to do with no books. But somewhere down the line, Tina and Paul, she said at first I did have a connection with Paul, but then I stopped having a connection with Paul, and Paul got mad. He wanted me to self-eliminate with him. He was ready to leave the show. He wanted me to leave the show with him. Paul said that's ridiculous, that he had no reason to want to leave the show at that point, that they had only known each other a week, and it was crazy. I don't know. That's one of those situations where you just got to choose a side on who you think you believe, because I don't know who to believe. I don't really care at this point, but at some point, I guess that's the situation. We got to figure out what's going on with that. This when my recording started getting real hanky, so I'm gonna just tell you what I feel like what had happened with Down. So we know that Donovan and Carmen are together. Congratulations. We know that Joy and Clifton are together. Congratulations. Joy said that she ready to quit her job, be back in DC permanently. She ready to settle down, have some babies. And Clifton was like, well, here go the key to my apartment. He made a whole big to do about getting down on one knee, and he had this box that looked like a ring box. First of all, I knew good and damn well that he had proposed to her, because you know the internet can't keep no secrets. That had already leaked out. Second of all, it was too dramatical, and the way they played it up, I was like, all right. So it was actually a key to his place. Now, for some people, they were like, that ain't cute. He went through all that, and all she getting is a key to his apartment or a key to his house. Listen, for some people, that's the prize. Like, you got to know what people are in it for. For some people, that is the prize. Like, having the key to your man's apartment or house, maybe they know they not ready for marriage, but they ready to cohabitate, or they ready to have that access. I think that's saying a lot, that he's like, listen, I know you live, right now you are working in Mexico, and I'm giving you the key to and access to my home, so that if any point in time you decide to jump on a plane and just show up and be in my living room, you don't have to worry about the fact that I'm here in DC with other women and got people coming in. Like, I don't see what the issue is. They only been dating for 6 months, y'all. Chill out. I think that was cool. I mean, I think it was real dramatical, but I think it was cool. Yeah, that's all I got. I apologize if more happened, but listen, my recording was tripping. It was storming. I got DirecTV. Y'all know how that go. Anyway, the season is over. The next season is Miami. So I guess I'll see y'all there. I'm sure the way they've been doing it, the next season probably gonna start in about 2-3 weeks. So I'll see y'all later. Peace.